How did ayahuasca change your perspective?
I think I used to be pretty, like, sadistic, and I think didn't have a relationship with God, and I was, like, just lost, and I got into meditation and breath work, and that's when I, like, felt the presence of God, and then I did shrooms, and I was like, "Whoa, this world is crazy," and I felt, like, all these emotions and self-identity and ego death and, like, all these crazy things and energies and this different conscious world, and it opened my eyes up to a lot, and so I just went down this path of self-improvement, self-learning, um, how my actions affect the rest of the world, etc., and all of these things were, I think, slowly bringing me closer to a relationship with God, and then through ayahuasca, just experience so many magical things. Looking yourself in the mirror, which is also like really hard to do, it shows you all your flaws, where you can improve, but it also shows you how amazing you are and th- where your superpowers lie and what things you're already doing that are great. And it's like this motherly figure, Mother Ayahuasca, and I believe she is a god. I think there's multiple different gods and entities, but feeling that love and that connection to that spirit and that God is just super, super powerful. And after I did like Toad and ayahuasca, I was like, all right, like God is certain, God is real. There's not a shadow of doubt in my mind. And since then, that relationship with God and praying and talking to Him and having that guiding figure and that guiding light has just like improved my life in all aspects.
Were you nervous going into that? Like, this might change me for the worse, or I might not like who I become afterwards?
No, not really. I didn't know what to expect, and I think that's what made me nervous. But with psychedelics, I've like heard horror stories of
Me
people
too.
like changing and stuff and all that, but I never had any of those experiences with breath work or shrooms, which is where I started. And I'm pretty strong minded, and so I just looked at it as a tool to help uncover things, and I didn't think it was I'm not, and I wasn't going through like an identity crisis where a lot of people do ayahuasca and then like shave their head and change their names and stuff. Like I didn't need the like meaning or searching for like a group or like I'm just gonna become a hippie. I know what I was going into it with and my intentions, and I know the path I'm on, and so I think if and I'm pretty self-aware. I
Mhm.
think when people, like, aren't self-aware and they take ayahuasca, then they're gonna hate it, and it's gonna be too much for them, and that could be mentally damaging, but I think I was doing pretty good as is and then dove into that world.
Would you take it again?
Yeah, I've taken it, like, 6 times
Oh my
now.
god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think everyone should take it,
Yeah.
and everyone needs it, and I think if we all did ayahuasca, the world would be a much, much better place. There would be less judgment, and it's like being in the gym, right? People think you go to take ayahuasca once and your life is complete and you're gonna figure everything out. It's not the case at all. It's a look into like what could be, but you have to integrate. You have to actually make the changes, and that's where a lot of people struggle and fail. And I've seen a lot of things where it's like improve here, improve there, and I do good for a little bit, and then I like go back to my default settings. So it's a constant work for self improvement and for psychedelics and ayahuasca and all these things. So you really need to stay at it unless you are super content with who you are and all these things. But I always want to be better, and I know I can be better. And I think sometimes you need those reminders of what areas you're lacking
Yeah.
in.
Now, you've said before that you want to have higher quality thoughts. How do you go about doing that?
It's
And what
hard,
sort of
man.
thoughts are we talking about?
Yeah, it's hard. I had my friend Marcel like come and hypnotize me recently, and we did this like hour and a half long session, and he's like yelling at you and like going deep and like making you think of all those bad thoughts and traumas and things, and then like basically trying to like erase it from the hard drive like a computer. We are computers, and like we're programmed like computers in our thoughts and subconscious and all of these things. And we're electrical beings, so we're literally computers. And so essentially you have to clear up that junk space. You have to get rid of any viruses, anything that is in there, and that's the best way to explain it. But since then I've noticed a really big improvement, and it's like anytime something negative comes up, or oh, this is going to be hard, or oh, I don't want to do this today, or whatever it might be, or anything, the positive thought, you have to train yourself for it to come in and take care of the negative thought and focus and prioritize the positive one. And it's like going to the gym. It's like reps, and for me, a lot of times, a lot of the negative thoughts and stuff come in the morning. Like right when I wake up, it's like, oh, I have to do this today and all these things. And I'm all stressed out. And it's like, no, calm down. I'm going to take care of my responsibilities today with ease. I got this. This is what I'm good at. I'm not worried. I'm excited to box and train, and excited to do these calls and interviews and filming today, and changing some of those ways of thinking. But it takes time.
How often do you meditate? I remember you speaking about visualizing the win and like really getting in that state.
I meditate every morning for about 5-10 minutes. I figure I like doing it more consistently for shorter versus like trying to like catch up on it. But I just have so much going on in my life that if I don't take that moment in the morning to like think through my day, have gratitude, you know, think of how I want to attack the day, all the things I want to do, I'll just like lose myself in just the madness of everything going on. But yeah, so the manifestation thing and visualizing the fight, you're actually like preparing your brain to create that moment. And when it's there and when you're in the moment, your brain is actually going to react quicker and know what's going on if you're visualizing it time in and time again. And then I vocally say what's going to happen out loud. We live in a vibrational world of frequencies. We're electrical beings on like these different frequencies. And so you're actually just creating the sound and creating the frequency into the world of what you want to happen. And it's worked for me. I think you have to like truly believe it and truly believe in magic. Otherwise, it doesn't work for a lot of people.
We were talking to Michelle Carr, and she said that one of the things she was doing to prepare is that she would listen every morning to crowd cheering, just to get used to when she walks in the ring that she would hear the crowd cheering. And then she visualized that was for her.
Yeah, I spar in the last 2 weeks of camp. I spar in the gym. We have like super loud speakers. I spar with the crowd noise, like, and the speakers cranked all the way up, because it's a different environment. You want to simulate the environment you're in and not being able to hear your coaches over the crowd sometimes. And so I do all of these things to just mimic the fight night and the pressure and all that.
Now, this clip was brought to you by our sponsor, Opus Clip. Most people think Opus Clip is just a clipping tool, but it's way more than that.
It's actually a full-on AI video editor. It can pull your long-form content, find the best moments, add captions, B-roll, and even schedule your clips to post all automatically. It's basically your entire post-production team, but way faster and smarter.
We use it ourselves to turn long episodes like this with Jake Paul into high-performing clips. And right now, they're celebrating their 2-year anniversary with a huge giveaway. They're handing out $5,000 in cash prizes, exclusive swag, and even a MacBook Pro to one lucky winner.
And everyone who joins gets free credits just for participating. All you gotta do is head to opus.pro/clip-the-future right now to learn more and enter the contest. Again, that is opus.pro/clip-the-future. We also have a link down below in the description. You can just click it there. Huge thanks to Opus Clip for sponsoring this clip.